Hello dear friends, this is Paul and with me the third and last needed video tutorial for Gene 2.1 describing new rating function. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to my channel. When we go to Gene and click the activation here, then we have option to select between 6 rating methods that are divided into two groups. The first group displays the results in absolute value and the second group displays results in percentage. When we select one of the rating methods and click the setting, it's done, and in fact it doesn't need really the video tutorial, but my aim is to describe the rating a little bit more in detail and mainly to show what are the basic differences between each rating method and what different results you can get. So let's a little bit wait until the interface is printed, and I will fill in some numbers just to run it that you see it functional. And I just put the numbers randomly here and its name, and it's shown also when the results are printed. It's shown here, so there is the rating method and there are already the values that are corresponding to the number of hits. So number of hits has the desired value, and then there is the average of the all values. I just selected the rating by exponential and showing the absolute values. Here is the best result number 8, and here is the average best value. So this is how it works, and it's really simple to select the rating. And now I will go to one table and will show what values we can get using different rating methods. So if we have number of hits 0, then we can have number of hits 1, 2, 3 and 4 or more, and I will click calculate, and there are 5 rating methods that are independent from amount of balls in drawing machine. So you see that in some rating methods, for example rating by value that we have already in Gene 2.0, then if you have 0 hits, then the value is 0, 2 hits is value 2. Then there is a rating by square, x on 2, exponential, factorial from x, and x powered by x, and each rating method is giving different value to number of hits. As you see, if we have 3 hits, now the first method has 3 and the last has 27 and more. We can continue here just to make it more hits. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and recalculate the value, and we are getting just much more values for more hits. If you have, I think this is one of most difficult lotteries to hit 7 numbers, you are getting in this last rating method x on x, it's really high value here. So this is how we are getting the value. So as you compare the value we had originally, it's 7, but using selecting different method we have, for example, 49 or more. But furthermore, we have a final rating method by probability, and if you imagine that we should select 5 numbers from 10, then see what does it mean. So we calculated the probability, and the value in absolute, if we select 500, we get the value 252, and 500 is also equal to 1%. And to hit 4 numbers is not, I would say, 80%, but only 4%. So this is the big difference. And now let's see, when I increase the amount of balls in a drawing machine, I got much more higher value. that's it's more than 100,000 here, and it's equal to 100. But if I hit only 4 numbers, I have a value just only more than 1000, so it's much more smaller than in the hit 5, and it is less than 1%. So here you can see the differences, and if I select the 5 hits here and 5 hits here, none of these methods are achieving such a value like here. And this brings several differences that I will show just after this table. Finally, if I extend the lottery with second drawing machine, where I can select one number from 10, then the number of combinations to hit the numbers is increased, and you see that I got also much more value here. It's more than 1 million, and to hit 5 numbers is only 11%, and to hit 4 plus 1 is less than 1%. So you see that's much more different than you use the methods that are independent from amount of balls in the drawing machine. So if there is a different amount of balls, then these values are still the same. But anyway, each method has its advantages. As I said, this is from the softest one to the hardest one, and these softest ones are giving smooth and even waves, and the hardest are giving more peaky and sharpy waves. Now let's see the comparisons I prepared in advance. So the first graph, or if I'm in the first is rating by just the value in percentage. This is what we had in the Gene 2.0, and you see with the same conditions and parameters we got just the best wave, which is a smooth. And if we continue that, we select the by square, we have now more wavy wave. Then by exponential we got the same wave, and as the reason is that the square or exponential is very close one to each other. The factorial we got at this moment also similar wave. Then by the power on power we have also the same wave, and finally when we look by the probability we got completely different wave. And if I look here to the first one, just let me check where I am. So if I look to the first one and see the waves I got in the best results, so the first one is here, this is just by average, and you see the waves are more even. And if I jump here, then I got waves that are more peaky in between the best results. And finally, if I go to probability, I got just much more peaky waves, and they are much shorter. So you see there are the differences between each rating method, and it's up to you what you will choose, and it's also recommended to test everything, and I'll be glad for your feedback and your observations that can be helpful for me and for others. Finally, we can go to user guide, where the function rating is described in detail right here, and there is described each rating method with the values you can get, with the formulas you can have. The most complex is the rating method by probability, whereas the most complex formula using the combinations. So this is all described here. And finally, where I want to stay a little bit while, is the comparison table. So we have here the the first draw, second draw in the lottery, they are the hits, and there is a comparison between hits that you have 0 hits, 1, 2, 3 and 4 hits. And you see, if we look for the rating by just value, we got value 2, and rating by probability, we got value in the same scenario 483. As we know that we can have maximum 5 hits, then it also means that we can calculate the percentage. So 5 hits in this case should mean always 100%. So if we recalculate these values into percentage, we are getting 40% of hits compared with these two. The using displays in percentage has advantage that we know where we are, how far we are from the final destination. And at this moment in the first rating, it looks that we got 40% and 60% we should match, and in fact it's true. But if we select more difficult rating method, then you see we got, for example, only 24% or only 1.8%, and in case of probability we got less than 1%. So using this method will gives you how far you are from the best result, and you also see what does it really mean to hit a lot of numbers. Finally, that's almost all, and finally I would like to point out that this tutorial was the last one for the Gene 2.1. There are other 2 tutorials in the playlist Gene 2.1 user guide, and this is the what's new and quick start. And all the tutorials that are in the Gene 2.0 user guide are also valid and relevant for the Gene 2.1. For example, how to create the preset lottery, how to download it from internet, and many other useful tutorials. So to be able to handle the Gene 2.1 completely, it's recommended also to watch the video tutorials that are here, including the tutorial deep walkthrough and all the tutorials that are here placed as well, because all of them are relevant. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching and your attention. If you missed something, just replay it. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel, provide your feedback, comments, and I'll be glad for every like I will get from you. Join us on the Facebook page and groups. You can support me on Patreon or via PayPal me. The links are in the description of this video. I am looking forward to see you next time on some upcoming video update about the development or some live stream. Until that time, have a great time.